Now that protests have been going on for about a week and have spread around the country and don't seem to be backing down, and videos of brutality against the protesters are starting to spread, you are predictably hearing calls from the right that these protesters just need to be peaceful and calm down a little bit. We would totally listen if you just did that. Well, Media Matters decided to do a little bit of a mashup of how the right has responded to the most recent protests and how they responded to the kneeling in the NFL and those sorts of protests back a few years ago.
Peaceful protests, frankly, in my mind, justifiable, understandable.
Peaceful protest is the hallmark of a free society. We all know that.
And the people that want to peacefully protest, I'm all for it. I'd be out there protesting too.
You did own a professional football team. What would you do with Colin Kaepernick?
I don't think I'm going to tell you what I do.
You don't stand up in the middle of our workplace and start creating chaos because we get fired.
But they're not creating chaos.
That's chaos.
So why is this a big deal? Why is it, in the end, dangerous for this country?
These acts of protest are beyond disrespectful.
He's trying to make a point, but I don't think he's making it the correct way. I think what he's doing is very bad for the spirit of the country.
Just because something is legal doesn't mean you ought to do it.
Colin Kaepernick gives money to terrorists.
Using the excuse of Black Lives Matter or some other issue that they probably haven't even read up on. They just repeat whatever Colin Kaepernick says on any given day.
So look at the people he's donated money to. These are radicals in many cases, very anti-American, ethnocentrically racist black organizations, and again, built on a lot.
So that is how they responded back then. Saying that it was an attack against America, refusing to acknowledge the grievances when they are described. And now they are saying, well, if you just did the peaceful stuff, we would listen and presumably things would change. But it wasn't that long ago, and people haven't forgotten. There is no protest that is considered legitimate.
Right. That's it. That's an inconvenience for them, and they don't have to listen because they have the power, period. That's all that they're trying to communicate. And they are having a tougher time now making that point. There's still people, I mean, the uphill that you have to go against is hundreds of years of a system. And then also social media giving people plenty of stuff to just soothe their addled minds and tell them they're right, you're right, you're right. The other side is wrong, they're wrong, they're wrong. But there are videos like the ones that everybody sees. Like everybody sees these videos of police brutality in crowds, and no one has any other, and no one has a counter argument to that. Mm-hmm. They're trying to distract you from it, but that doesn't change the problem. And they want an excuse to stop paying attention. And so their excuse to stop paying attention is, here's a video of a Target on fire, and that's it. But we need to keep the focus back on this in terms of the hypocrisy, like the shut up and dribble from Laura Ingraham versus the, oh, you know what? Drew Brees is allowed to have a point. That's it. Hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to say it's at the time of the anthem. At the time of the anthem. How about a time when America's on fire?
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I'm glad that you pointed out. If you hadn't, I would have, because we care about hypocrisy. But the thing is, like she doesn't care if we point out her hypocrisy. She would like it because she wants her fans to know that she has a different standard for white athletes than black athletes. It's not like the mask is pulled off at the end of a Scooby-Doo and she's been revealed. It was already off. Her fans want her to be nice to white conservative athletes and to attack black athletes. That's it. And the saying that, like, if you guys were just peaceful, if you just stop, if there was no looting, if there was no anything, then what exactly? What, Sean Hannity would meet up with these organizers and Trump would come out and they'd draft resolutions and everything would change. Who thinks that? These are inconvenient and scary for them, and so they want them to stop. That's it. That's the goal. Why would they stop? Why? Yeah. Let's quick poll the audience. Okay, I want you to say yes if you think that if everything just calmed down and everyone took a second, that then Mitch McConnell and Trump would come out and work with the protesters. Say yes. If you think that that's absolute BS, say BS. Okay, in the comments. Thank you. Sorry, what's up?
Yeah, but that's it's not an They're not honest actors. They're
Fundamentally.
actors. Well, they're not honest actors. They definitely just want to have an audience, and they want to make money off of that. And there's a lot of people out in the media landscape now, and that is their only priority.
Mm-hmm.
John doesn't have that priority because we just did a climate change video. And I can prove through analytics that costs us money and doesn't make us money, but he prioritizes getting the actual stories out to people that will materially affect their lives. So that's very, very real.
Well, we're gonna prove you wrong, because watch, that climate video, like all of them, is gonna get 1 million views. No,
it will not.
No,
I'm sorry.
No,
but
if you want the views, you do yet another video about the war on Yemen. No, wait, that doesn't get any views either. No. Unfortunately, people don't generally seem to care about the things that they should care the most about. But anyway, continue.
But that's it. They're if people are protesting, they'll find something wrong with it. You know, if people are protesting, Fox News will find something wrong with it. And that thing wrong with it is completely off the through line of what the protest is. So if it's a protest of police brutality during the national anthem, they'll say, well, you shouldn't do that during the national anthem. If it's a peaceful protest not during the national anthem, it'll be like, here, let me play a video of, I'm going to say the word Antifa over and over again.
Yep.
And share this hilarious Project Veritas video of me doing this.
With glasses.
I am from Antifa. And then like put over it, I look good. And then put over top of it like the mortis of recording now video that I don't know if anyone saw, had like 25 frames per second when they did this secret video. 25 frames per second is in Britain. Like that's what they do because their plugs are different. Yeah. That's why it's 25 frames a second. It has nothing to it is absolute hogwash and stupidity, but they don't feel like they actually have to do anything. And what we need to do is stay on keep it up, and keep protesting them no matter how BS their arguments are.
I agree. Yeah, and again, not honest actors. And by the way, the chat was all BS. And then I realized if someone was joining the stream at that moment, they would not have a high opinion of the stream if everyone was just yelling at us, BS! So I'm going to think about that next time. But I do agree.
So
yeah,
if you think John should change, I want the poll to say, John's an idiot. If you want John to stay the same, say, John's a liar.
Those are your options, America.
Don't do that.
But yeah, the larger point is there is no protest that they would consider legitimate until it is so small that they have no need to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's it. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.